best session? I'm super biased because security is my favorite topic. Networking, schmetworking. No, what is a network without security? Well, it's not going to be a network for very long, or at a minimum, it's not going to be your network for very long. We know that security and networking have to come together, right? That's the future, right? And networking without security his days are numbered. And you can't have security without a network to secure. This is Juniper's vision and what we've been executing on with security for the last 4 or 5 years. This is Juniper Connected Security, where networking and security come together everywhere, right? To better protect your users, your devices, including IoT, and all the data in all your applications wherever they may be. And in addition, it's actually leveraging the network itself to come to its own defense. This is the threat-aware network. This is Juniper Connected Security. And if AI and our use of it, Mist, Marvis, all the cool things you heard Sudhir talk about, all the cool things you heard Mike talk about, that's no secret, right? If that's no secret, Juniper's best-kept secret is its security, right? This connected security strategy, using the entire network, all the things that make it go, to help the network come to its own defense, we've actually gotten some pretty good recognition as this being where the industry itself needs to go. And we're already doing it. But I think the biggest piece of validation that not only is Juniper on the right path with regards to our security strategy and how we're using the entire network, but the fact that if you invest in security technology, what do you want it to do? You want it to actually protect your network, right? Otherwise, it's money down the drain. These test scores, right? We don't just test ourselves and say, just trust us, right? Zero trust is a way of life, my friends. We have multiple third-party tests that validate that not only is our performance what we say it is, right? Not only is it easy to deploy and manage, but where security matters. Can it actually protect you against exploits? Can it actually protect you against malware? Overwhelmingly, best in industry, yes, it can. This is Juniper, right? Multiple third-party tests, multiple use cases, consistently the most effective security in the industry today. And I'm just gonna do this. And we use, our security is about securing the entire network, right? It's not just one place. Security has to be everywhere. And it's in its most simplistic form. Security can be broken down into kind of two very, very basic concepts. One, it's about protecting data, right? You gotta protect your data. And then you gotta protect access to that data. That sounds simple, right? But we all know that actually doing it is pretty hard. Security is challenging, but doesn't need to be. And so this is how Juniper is operationalizing security. Protecting data wherever it lives, everywhere it lives, on-prem, in the cloud, in multiple clouds, and protecting access to that data, again, whether your users and your devices accessing that data are in a campus somewhere or in branches somewhere, or all of us, we're on the road. I see some laptops out. Your access needs to be protected, and it needs to be protected consistently. And with that same level of efficacy that you just saw on the slide prior to this. That's what we do. So how do we do this? Well, I'm glad you asked. We view security as a horizontal business unit at Juniper. That means that the security business unit works with every single other product team, because security can't just be one place in the network. It has to be everywhere. It has to be consistent. It has to provide visibility, effective threat protection everywhere. And especially with a lot of new use cases and changing architectures, that is more important than ever. So how do we do this? Well, first, we're going to protect your access at your edge, wherever your edge is. Again, whether you are in the office, traveling or, in Vegas, enjoying the Cosmopolitan, your access is protected consistently. We're protecting connectivity across the WAN, right? All that data that's going back and forth, making sure that your network is not just up, but good. Part of good means secure. So we're doing that across the WAN. And then finally, protecting the data. It's not just about the data center anymore, it's centers of data. Your data is everywhere and it's moving, right? We are in the era of hybrid cloud, and security has to be everywhere and it has to be consistent. So we're not only protecting access to the data center, we are consistently protecting applications, the data that resides in them, and the data as it moves from app A to app B, right? From user A to user B, right? Wherever it goes, it will be protected consistently across every cloud. And we do this all through one single management experience. And I think that's the most important piece, right? Who wants to be looking at a billion dashboards? I don't, mostly because I just get confused and then, need to take some Excedrin. You need to see everything, and you need to see everything in one place. You need to be able to control everything in one place. And more importantly, you need to be able to ensure that the policies that you have set up at your edge, wherever your edge is, align with all the policies that you've set up across all your centers of data. And you need to be able to do that as quickly and effectively as possible. And that's all done through Security Director Cloud. So how does this really work, right? So at the edge, we do some really cool stuff at the edge, right? Wired, wireless, SD-WAN, and security. We can protect your edge, wherever it may be, across whatever architecture you may have, right? If you're got deployed kind of a traditional campus and branch NGFW, cool, we've got you. If you're on your SASE journey, whether you're just starting and you're kind of halfway through, or you're like, no, I want to be at the promised land, we've got you. We've got you with consistent security efficacy. We've got you with zero-touch provisioning and a very easy management experience. In the data center, again, very consistent, easy to use. You can create policies that follow your apps wherever they go. If you're in the process of moving apps from your on-premises data center to a public cloud environment, or from cloud A to cloud B, it doesn't matter. You can create a policy that follows the app. So you don't have to come back in and go, oh man, I gotta recreate this, potentially introduce some human error. I gotta figure out, all of these new configurations. No, we've got you. So now on to the nerdy stuff. How we are using AI and automation to operationalize security across the network. I saw a news segment a week or two ago. One of our big security competitors, the CEO came on, and he was talking about the future of security is AI. And I was like, yeah, man, yeah. And then he said something that AI for security, that's the future. We're doing it today. So how? Well, first of all, we're using AI to protect your networks, right? We've been using machine learning algorithms, we're using automation, we've been using artificial intelligence to not only detect new threats and changes in the attack landscape, but provide protection in such a way that you don't need to, stress over every minute that goes by. So we're doing some cool things like predictive domain generation detection in malware so that we can protect you, your users, your hosts in a second. We're also doing some cool things with AI to kind of strike this balance that I don't think anyone ever really thought was possible, right? Security and privacy, typically they're on opposite ends of the spectrum, right? Well, you can't have privacy if you have to crack open every session. But you can't have security if you have to keep everything private and encrypted and you can't break it open, right? Well, we're doing both. You can have both. So what we're doing is we're able to, through looking at network behavior, looking at sessions, looking at certificates used, we don't have to decrypt. We can tell you if that traffic contains a threat or not, with over 90% accuracy, which is huge, and less than 1% false positives, even bigger. So you don't have to decrypt, and you still get the security that you expect. And then lastly, bringing the network to come to its own defense, right? So there's some cool stuff we're doing here, literally using all of the network infrastructure, routers, switches, access points, to enable this. One of the cool things about this is being able to leverage the access points I know you all have or are soon going to be purchasing for security. If you have a compromised user or you've got a compromised IoT device, the minute it becomes compromised, you can see it within your Mist dashboard. And not only that, you can actually use the AP to quarantine that host or kick that user to the guest network, right? Super cool stuff. The network comes to its own defense. So I'm gonna ask another question here. How many of you have dealt with firewall rules in your professional lifetime? Yeah, okay, so then of those people who raised your hands, how many of you have dealt with the crippling anxiety of creating or changing said firewall rules? Yes, yes, I hear you, yes. So what if you didn't have to deal with that? What if you could make a change on your firewall stress-free? I know, it seems crazy, but we are doing this today with our rule intelligence. So we're looking at your policy set, and not only can we tell you, hey, you got this set of rules that literally has never been touched or will not be touched because they are shadowed. Here are some duplicate rules, you can get rid of those. But that rule that you're creating, based on how you're writing it, we're gonna tell you exactly where it should go to be most effective, but also to not cut connectivity for any important users. That's huge. So not only can you get rid of that anxiety, but you can also, those firewall rules that are 10,000 rules long, I know you all have them because I've seen them. They don't need to be that long, at least not 10,000. You can take a couple of those rules off that will never be touched. Get rid of all those duplicates. And more importantly, you can reduce the anxiety meds that you have to be on as a result of working with firewalls day in and day out. Next, you can't have security without visibility. And not just visibility into what's going on your edge, what's going on all your centers of data, but actually looking at risk. What's your risk right now? Well, Security Director Cloud provides that to you with adaptive risk controls. So what you can do is you can take a look and say, have I had an attack on my network lately? Cool, I have? Well, that sucks. Where is it along the attack kill chain? Oh, I had a product that just stopped it? Cool, I'm done. Or, oh, there's an attack going on, click a button, mitigates it. Not just with Juniper products, but with any third-party product, literally any third product. I don't say this with an asterisk. I literally mean any third-party product that you have in your network today. And then lastly, transformation, architectural transformation. Security is hard already, but throw in the fact that we're undergoing architectural transformation at the edge with SASE, in the data center to hybrid cloud. Throw in the imperative now that you probably are all dealing with, hey, we have to implement zero trust. Totally love it, but it is a lot harder than it sounds. And then on top of that, how many open headcounts do you have on your security team that have not been filled in the last 5 years? This has been the story. We have 1 million unfilled security headcounts. Yeah, that sucks, man. So it makes transformation even harder. We make it easy. You can take what you already have, and in 3 clicks, you can transform that policy into any architecture that is your destination. It's really transformative stuff. It sounds simple, but it is really transformative. And And then, across the network, operationalizing the experience, right? AI makes the network experience amazing, and it makes your experience with the network amazing. That extends to security. So not only are we providing you the answers to questions like, hey, which user is doing the worst stuff? Who are my naughtiest users? Which devices are, doing some things that indicate they're probably compromised? What are my users' experience with security on the network? We answer those for you. We make things that are very complex, like data center architectures, incredibly simple. And that's not just the networking, but the security as well, right? Being able to take a security policy, apply it to an application, and literally wherever it moves, that policy can move with it. And the same is true at the edge. Create a policy that follows your users wherever they go. It doesn't matter where they go, if they're on the road, at home, or on the beach or in Vegas, that policy follows them. So you can automate how you transition to zero trust. You can operationalize security. And that's what we've been doing. We do this today. It's very exciting stuff. So again, security is already hard enough, right? But with the power of AI and automation, our full portfolio, the AI-driven enterprise, the cloud-ready data center, and our automated WAN, security wraps around all of them, not only providing security to cross your entire network consistently and with the best efficacy in the industry consistently for the past 4 years, but we're utilizing those same things so that the network can come to its own defense, make your jobs a lot easier. One of the cool stories that I've heard from a customer, we have a customer who had 30,000 users, and this was, near the start of the pandemic, and they're like, oh my gosh, like we have to transition to this whole work from home thing. 30,000 users, 70% of them are gonna remain work from home or work remote. And this team had 4 IT guys, and they had 60 days to figure this out. Utilizing Juniper networking, both our campus switching, our data center switching, SD-WAN, and security, both with the SRX firewall and with our Juniper Secure Edge SSE, they were able to do that. 4 guys, they met that 60-day deadline, and they remarked that this was really easy. It was super easy to do, and on top of that, we got an unexpected use case where they were able to use their QFXs to quarantine infected servers. They didn't need to put endpoint protection on those servers. Who could, right? It's a server. They were able to lock down those servers if compromise happened very quickly. That's the threat-aware network, and that is the power of Juniper Connected Security and Juniper Networks. So security is my jam, and security is the jam of the entire Juniper Networks portfolio. So I'm really excited that we've been on this path and will continue to be on this path, that we've been leveraging AI and automation to not just make the network, work, but make it really good and really secure. So I appreciate the time. Thank you guys so much. And next up, I would love to introduce Brian O'Connor. He's the VP of Solutions Engineering from Granite Telecom.
Thank you, Kate. Super. So